Environment affects children's resilience. The United States of America is one of the richest societies in the world. However, the number of American children who grow up in poverty has increased over the past decade. Many of those children also grow up in social isolation or chaos. This has predictably terrible effects on their development. But there is also a scientific mystery. Why do some deprived children seem to do so much better than others? Is it something about their individual temperament or their particular environment? The pediatrician Tom Boyce and the psychologist Jay Belsky suggest an interesting yet complicated interaction between nature and nurture. They think the environment is the key to temperament development. Just like orchids and dandelions, orchids grow magnificently when conditions are just right and wither when they aren't. Dandelions grow about the same way in a wide range of conditions. Researchers studied a group of at-risk babies when they were just 5 months old with RSA, respiratory sinus arrhythmia, a factor measuring change of heartbeat rates in accordance with breathing. The assumption is that people with higher RSA seem to respond strongly to their environment psychologically and show more signs in temperament. Considering the baby's environmental risk factors like poverty, medical factors like premature birth, and social factors like little family and community support, researchers checked whether the children had developed behavior problems, such as how often the child would hurt others, refuse to eat, or have tantrums. All children do these things sometimes, but a child who acts this way more frequently is more likely to become a troublemaker in the future. The lower RSA children were more like dandelions. The risky environment caused them to have more behavior problems than the average child in the general population. Nevertheless, dandelion children who grew up with relatively stable and secure relationships did not do better than other dandelion children with more difficult lives. The higher RSA children were more like orchids. The environment made an enormous difference. The children growing up with more secure relationships had far less behavioral problems than those growing up with difficult relationships. Under good environments, these orchid children actually had fewer behavioral problems than the average child, but they tended to do worse than average in bad environments. From a scientific perspective, the results illustrate the complexity of interactions between nature and nurture. From a moral and policy perspective, all these children, dandelions and orchids both, need and deserve a better start in life. Emotionally, there is a special poignancy about what might have been. What could be sadder than a withered orchid?